lovely friends there at the Meltdown Bar all over Europe, all over the world right now. Wherever you are in a barcraft, hopefully you're enjoying the StarCraft II action. If not, well, you should be, that's for sure. Show your hashtag passion on social media with #WCS, of course, and make sure you're following the official StarCraft channel as well. We're back at the desk with Stefano from the Meltdown Bar.
Yes, absolutely.
Showing his pride of place tie, well done. Very nicely placed. And Kalaris as well. Interesting couple of opening games, James.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't really expecting to see Happy doing as well as he did, and it's nice to see him actually incorporating some very, very strong mech into his play. And then the last series was back and forth. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
That's what Kane told me.
It's pretty much true at the moment.
Just going with Kane. Nice tweet by TLO out there as well, by the way. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to repeat it, but go and check it out. Fun tweet from Dario, like that. Interesting matchup now, because we've got two players who might not have expected to have dropped down too early. PiG maybe, I suppose, but TargA probably not. So difficult matchup. If you haven't seen the two games that we've had so far, let's check in with the bracket right now and show you where we are, because we have had our first two opening games. Happy versus PiG. Happy winning out 2-0 in a bit of a stomp, frankly, and Kane coming through against TargA after being 1 down and winning 2-1. So that leaves those two in the winners bracket. The lower bracket now, TargA versus PiG. Now, James, these two have met plenty of times before, because of course TargA was out in Australia for 3 years. It's 6-2 in matches, but more importantly perhaps for PiG, he hasn't beaten TargA since the middle of 2012.
Yeah, I think his PiG's ZvZ is very, very good, obviously because he has to play in such a region where it's very Zerg dominated. Indeed. But both of them, in my mind, are the two better ZvZers, despite the previous result that we actually saw there. So for them to meet in this losers bracket, it's kind of a toss-up. I'm very, very undecided as to how this is actually going to go.
Okay, well, it's a bit of a toss-up, and it's a bit of a coin flip mirror. So, Stefano, where does that leave us?
I mean, PiG must be aware he lost so many times to TargA. So now he came to this tournament and he had preparation for it. So I think he has something in mind when he's going to meet TargA. And it's not going to be like every single other time. He wants to win this. And the best way to win a ZvZ is to be unpredictable and just random like Kane did last series. Yeah. So that's the solution for him.
Did you enjoy that game from Kane on the last one?
I mean, I don't really like the games, but I enjoy the choices they made. I really respect people being that ballsy, and because I am not usually, I just like sit, I try to go for the steady style.
Just a steady, small host, long game. Yeah.
I respect these kind of people, yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, all right. If to get past TargA, what is PiG going to have to come up to? Stefano mentioned he's going to have to maybe shake things up, maybe know what he's going to do. What do you think, James?
From the onset of the previous series, it looked like TargA was incorporating quite a lot of aggression. So maybe doing something a little bit more tailored to the defense of that. I mean, we saw it in game one where Kane was trying to go very, very quick mutalisks there. If you're going to do something like that, you've always got to be very mindful of your defense. So maybe locking down a little bit. But of course, TargA's TargA. He can still play a very, very strong mid-game himself. And ZvZ, as of late, with the amount of two-base mutalist play that has been going on, you've got to be very careful in the matchup. I
personally think, like on mirror matchup, you should never take in consideration the previous matches, because that's when the opponent will actually change his playstyle, because he knows, like, so just, maybe, I don't know, it's really hard to...
like triple mind games going on.
Yeah, it's too much.
Too much, head's going to explode.
Yeah, mind-blowing.
TargA, on the other hand, he has by far and away the best ZvZ statistically of all three of the Zergs in this group. That didn't really stand him in too good a stead in that first game. So, with regards to now playing PiG, does he take some confidence from that thing? Actually, no, I played okay, it's just, that's the mirror.
Yeah, I think so. I think TargA...
In other words, not too damaged in the fact that he's lost that first game.
I agree with that. I think that he probably says, oh, well, that was game 3, and shrugs it off and just keeps on going, because he still has very good ZvZ.
Well, how did you cope with these ZvZs when you lost? I mean, you didn't lose that many, but like, what did you do?
Every time I went to a ZvZ, I knew I had lost like before I started, so there was no much surprise, let's say. And for TargA, it must be the opposite, because he knows like every time he goes to a ZvZ, he must win. So maybe now he's kind of put off in a way.
Yeah, I mean, 75% win rate in WCS matches before in ZvZs for TargA means that he only loses 1 in every 4 games. So he's lost his 1 in 4 now, surely.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, again, for as much as PiG does hail from a region that is so Zerg dominant, TargA has not only had to experience that, but then he came home and has had to go up against Snook quite a lot, who is very good in Zerg versus Zerg. And as I mentioned in the previous cast, he's been in the upper echelons of a lot of the online tournaments where it's been...
This guy.
lots of Zergs dominating those scenes as well. So, and he's been one of them for the part.
It's fair to say that PiG didn't perhaps play to his full potential in the first game of the day. Happy did play very well, but PiG, I don't think he performed the way that we were expecting him to, and he certainly has shown better form than that. Against a Terran, though, is very different against the Zerg. Do you think that's going to play a part for him?
I think PiG looked at this group and probably said, you know, Happy is technically not even the wild card. He's just the stable guy that's going to come out and perform very, very well against an only Zerg group. And then said, well, if I get knocked down, at least it's only Zergs from there, and maybe I can keep going. But TargA being the first one he has to face, it's not exactly the most amazing of situations to be in.
All right, okay. Prediction time. Who are you going with?
Oh God!
Raise your eyebrows. Don't look at Ilias.
No,
I'm
out of the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to tell you actually at home that Ilias did tell me who he was going for off camera.
And I was right, right?
And you were right.
Yeah.
He's 100% right today so far.
200% if you don't count the one.
I don't think it adds up. I don't think it works like that somehow. He's 200% right today, which makes up for the 100% wrong yesterday. So you're 100%. That's brilliant this week. Well done, Ilias.
Okay then. Well, I think I'll end up going with TargA 2-1, being how the matchup is.
All right, do you agree?
I don't disagree on that. I don't agree.
Then what do you do?
It's an open question for now.
Oh, okay.
He's deflecting.
Mysterious.
He's deflecting.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave it there then, because Stefano's never going to give me an answer, even if I pressurise him.
Absolutely, don't try. Don't look at me. No, it's not working.
Oh, okay. The mind stare's not working. Sorry, Team Liquid. Right then, we'll move on to our third game. It is a lower bracket game. It's a very big game for both these players because a lose here means they go home. So is it Australia's homeboy or Australia's adopted son? We'll find out with our commentary team of Apollo and Todd.
Thank you very much, Red Eye, and welcome to the caster's desk for the lower bracket game here. One player will be eliminated in the next 10 to 20 minutes, knowing our ZvZ Zergs. I'm joined here by Todd for this excellent ZvZ Zerg. I know you love this matchup.
Not as much as you, but I do love it. I'm doing pretty bad with predictions, by the way. Yesterday I was like, oh, it's all about Major, takes last. Today I'm like, oh, it's all about TargA. He loses his first match. I really hope there is not some kind of curse developing here. And
I hope not for your sake.
I'm going to count on you to explain me and us exactly what's happening here at ZvZ, because I know it's your forte. Once upon a time in an Intel Extreme Masters, the ZvZ analysis was very underwhelming. And then you took it upon yourself to study the matchup hard and show up the next time and tell us how it was going to be done.
Thank you. And a long time ago, I think I did really well in a free-for-all in an Intel Extreme Masters. A very, very long time ago. By playing Terran, actually. That makes no sense at all. Never mind. Let's get ready to jump into this match here. Both players have had a rocky start today. PiG 0-2, very fast versus Happy earlier. And we just saw TargA play versus Kane. And here we are, loaded into map number 1 on Overgrowth. Down here to the bottom left-hand side, hailing all the way from Australia, it is PiG. And this is his time to turn his tournament around. Up here to the top right, it is the blue Zerg from Norway, TargA.
Who's going to get rushed this game? PiG is raising the bar, and instead of going for a pull 10, it's even going to be a pull 9 in this game.
And PiG is resorting to pretty much how he played against King Kong on during the qualifiers and in Challenger. He played a lot of 9 pulls. He didn't pause the game very often, but he did play a lot of 9 pulls. He has requested an admin here. Starting off this one with a bang. 9 pull, as Kane vividly described in the win interview, does have a bit of success against 15 hatcheries and can push you into an advantageous position for sure. By the way, here are the maps, if you didn't check them out already. TargA picked this first map, Overgrowth. We went over to PiG's choice, which is Expedition Lost. And then the third map, if we need it, will be Catalina. What do you think about PiG's approach here with 9 pull to start off this series?
I think it's a good opportunity for him to be thinking that, TargA just got rushed and he's maybe not going to expect it to come out again. Then again, there is always like, you have to make a decision as the player who just got rushed. You basically say, he's likely to do it again or he's not likely to do it again. And it's like completely upside down, the reaction that you need to have and how it's going to go against either. It's kind of like Kane said, the coin flip in a way,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a it's a coin flip, as in like you're going to get a build order win or a build order loss every time, but usually it means more like you're going to be in a good or really bad spot one way or another.
So the middle of the road build is typically recognized as a 15 spawning pool, which isn't damaging to your economy, but it's not over forward when it comes to bringing in a lot of money really fast, with the hatchery first. Why don't we just see 15 pool, 15 pool, 15 pool? You think if somebody just played that kind of middle of the road build over and over, it can be highly exploited by another build?
I guess when you go 15 pool all the time, you're predictable, and any kind of predictability, as stable as it can be exploited. Usually, if somebody plays standard, predictable, like not greedy or doesn't take risk, the best way to counter that is to play greedy yourself. So that will be, like maybe a hatch first, a lot of extra drones. Yeah. You could even delay your pull a lot because that your opponent, even if he goes across the map with slow links, he's not going to do anything. So anything in StarCraft II is explodable. So that's why sometimes you find yourself in the situation of a little bit, of rock, paper, scissors in terms of build order. And in this case, those players, as much info as they can try to get on one another, as long as they keep on mixing it up in those matches and they do things here and there that they wouldn't do usually, it's really going to keep their opponent on their toes and guessing the whole time. And StarCraft II is a game of incomplete information. You can never know exactly what your opponent is going to do up until you get a scout in there. And in this case, even before any kind of scout could happen, we had a pull thrown down.
Well, if PiG's able here to beat TargA going out in last place, I don't think too many people expected him to go out in last place today. He's had such success in this matchup. He's traded wins versus Snoot, the best non-Korean in StarCraft now. Traded wins back and forth. They're completely 50-50. And that is not just I'm saying they're 50-50. It is literally 24 maps to 24 maps. As equal as you can get. They've played so much over the years. He had a fantastic run to qualify into this tournament. He beat Snoot on the way in. He beat Petraeus on the way in. Another good uprising Zerg in Europe. And he is pretty feared by the majority of Zergs in Europe. So for him to go out in last place in a group with two other Zerg players where he would have to play a lot of Zerg versus Zerg would be very surprising. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. Like, if he's that good in ZvZ, a good approach for him going to these games, if there was a possibility for his opponents to rush him, would be to just play it a little bit safer. And as you mentioned, this is not a build that we see PiG doing for the first time as well. Yeah. TargA supposedly should have done his homework and should have studied those games out of PiG. And if he did, there is a good chance here he's going to go for a pull first and he's going to be okay. Okay, so we've already had PiG's decision on what he's done. He's gone for this 9 pull. He's going to follow it up with a gas. There's two pretty much options here from the position that TargA's in. He either throws down the spawning pool or he throws down the hatchery first. Two options, because there's no more spawning pool timings that can come into play. It is as black and white as if he throws the spawning pool down first, he's going to be in a much better position to defend it, or if he throws the hatchery down first, he could be in trouble. It's that black and white. He's actually on 14 supply right now in the game, and he's got about 85 minerals, so this is really the moment of truth here. We're going to find out as soon as we resume the game. Do you think at this point he can change his mind? No. Let's say at the start of the game he said, okay, I'm going to open up hatchery first in this game, and now he's like, well, come to think about it, should I go spawning pool first? Do you think that could ever happen? He moved at the same time as you say that. He's like, should I? Yeah, change. No, I don't think, usually you stick to your plan. Very rarely will you. The way that TargA's looking, he's looking over to the admin, and to be honest, it's like, what the hell is going on? Let me play. That's all I'm looking at. That's actually what he was saying too earlier in the lobby. When we tell the players when they're on camera, he's like, I don't care, I just want to play. He wrote that in the game lobby. A lot of players just stare at the screen and like, all right, I'll just wait. TargA's like, I am staring you down until you unpause this game. Don't make me get up. What is your guess here? Hatch or pull? It's a coin flip, isn't it? I'll get a coin out of my pocket if you want. There you are. There we go. Sound effect. There it is. All right. So it's a 20-cent coin. The 20 says spawning pool first. And this building on the back is hatchery first. Here we go. It is a spawning pool first. You're so corny, Apollo. Once upon a time, actually, somebody did that to me. I was at a tournament and somebody put a coin on my table. I was like, what are you doing?
And he's like, that's PvP. It's a good flip.
Should we just not play StarCraft and flip this coin a couple of times? All right, the admin has said ready, both players instantly, naturally replying with go, so we can jump back into this one immediately. TargA versus PiG in the elimination game. It is currently 0-0 if you're just tuning in, and we're about to find out what that decision really is going to be from TargA.
It was an extractor trick here, by the way, by PiG, so he's not going to go for a gas. He's just going to be spitless links.
Spawning pool first. The coin was right. It is
Well
a
done.
15 spawning pool.
Well done, Apollo.
So it's a 9 pool versus 15.
So what happens here? PiG goes across the map with Zerglings. Does he go for the middle line and drones, or does he get a cancel on the hatch first?
I think you have to try to cancel the hatchery here. The hatchery is going to come down naturally for TargA here. But the thing is, TargA will have lings almost out as these approach. So all he would need to do is buy some time with drones to assist the hatchery, surely. And then if he's able to not take losses and keep that hatchery alive, he naturally takes that advantage of the 15 spawning pool instead of the hatch versus the 9.
It just seems much better for TargA, I guess. It feels like unless he messes up, he's going to be in a great position in this game.
All right, well, we'll find out. 6 lings are on the way on the other side of the map. TargA did spot it nice and early. It is a total of 8 Zerglings have been made. And then, by the looks of it, a hatchery to follow up here. So the goal of PiG, surely, just to kill the hatchery and then expand himself while trying to delay and delay and delay.
Yeah, but even if he did that successfully, he's still on 10 drones against the 15 here for TargA. So I guess the only thing you would have going for him is his hatchery going up earlier than his opponent. He's preventing some mining time nicely, but I think this is worth it for TargA, because if he can keep that alive, it feels like he just won the game, right?
I wouldn't say one, I'd say pretty good advantage, though. Only a single drone taken down there.
Oh, that overlord, by the way.
And he's got to be careful about that.
Okay, starts moving it. The queen is here.
Yeah, the Queen's going to offer a lot of damage output and tanking too. It's of course it's range versus these Zerglings, so I think that's pretty good here for TargA.
Yeah, TargA defense for now. So I guess we can look at a unit count and see that they both have 10 Zerglings. It's 2 more drones, 4 PiG. Actually 4. He just got 2 more.
But it's 3 queens and 2 queens now versus 1 and 2 hatcheries versus 1 at the moment too. So slight advantage going over to TargA because of the coin flip that ISO did for you right here.
And 3rd queen is going to be very early as well. So essentially it's going to be 3 queens out before PiG gets even his 2nd one out. So very, very nice start here for TargA. Very fortunate, I guess.
I think it's important to note too that TargA does not know what's behind closed doors, gas or no gas.
Yeah, he definitely needs to try and get in to see what's up here. Do you think he already kind of knows? Like, having seen the amount of Zerglings, then the hatchery timing, surely he should know that there is not the possibility for a gas to be already up. Like, maybe he would have just started now, but Link speed will never be about to finish.
Yeah, but it could be on its way. All right, so Queen's going to chase this down, and that's another nice hit for TargA. So not only has he started off with the build order advantage, he's also picked off an overlord there.
And he forces 4 overlords here out of PiG.
Well, he's not going to get supply bot for a while.
Unless he loses another. But I don't think that's going to happen. 1 extractor is going down. So actually 2 extractors for both players at about the exact same time.
A lot of queens here. 4 queens coming out from TargA. It's a lot of money invested into queens.
I really like this Zergling hit squad hidden on the bottom right-hand side of the map here by TargA. This gives a lot of counter-attacking capability here. Kind of reminds me of, you know, live slings. Always out there, always ready to do some counter-attack and some damage. And a Ro32 is already on the way here for TargA, as well as an Evo chamber. I wonder if he's going to do maybe a timing like he did before.
He very well could do. As PiG currently, no decision on terms of strategy. Yeah, it's going to pause again. Once again, apologizing here to TargA. This is the 2nd time he has paused in this game. 3rd time overall today. Usually just apologizing. It does disrupt the rhythm of a StarCraft player, especially Zerg. Lava inject, creep sped, and so on.
Are you surprised that PiG is not only 7 walkers ahead right now, but he's making 3 more drones, and TargA is not? Because TargA is he just threw down a bunch of, actually, one of his drones is about to be an evolution chamber that he's throwing down. So he's going to be, I guess, 10 walkers behind here in a second. What's happening here with this?
Just looking at it in simple numbers, he may have gotten supply blocked a little bit here. which could have resulted in him falling a little bit behind. And he's got a lot of lava to use too.
I guess all of those queens, maybe he neglected the drone production to get all of these queens out just to make sure he was going to be safe against some kind of all-in or follow-up all-in.
Correct. Just to keep you guys up to date at home, Pig was having a little bit of a problem with some screen glare, whether it be a light shining onto the monitor or maybe his glasses, I don't know. So we are just waiting for that to be fixed once again for you. A bit of a stop and start game number one here between these two, really building up the tension between these, as this is this elimination game. Unfortunately, the loser of this will go home in last place. Pig flying all the way back to Australia, having his 30-hour, roughly, travel over here, a couple of days back, flies back tomorrow morning.
It's pretty tough, man.
That's very tough, because I traveled to Australia before, and because my brother lives over there, and when I asked him how long should I come for, he said, you've got to do a minimum of 2.5 weeks, if, as much as possible, because the travel's so far, 30 hours, and you're going to be jet lagged for the first couple of days, and you want to enjoy your time and then go again. But Pig is literally 30 hours come here, 2 days here, 30 hours back. And to be last place, that is difficult.
Yeah. When you play as a pro gamer going to a tournament, when you lose the way you didn't want to lose, and then you have to fly home, this is actually the worst. It can be very harsh on you because the way there, you're only thinking about who you're going to play, how you're going to play.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to get pumped for the match, but the way back is only spent. Like even if you win some series here and there, you completely look past the wins. The wins don't exist as a program. Only the losses do, and you only think about those. Trust me, this is very, very difficult to deal with. So hopefully for him, he does well.
We'll see as this game's going to continue once again here. As TargA about to unlock himself some of his little supply block. What does he do here? He adds on 5 additional drones. So it is Pig who has taken an economy lead. He's been focused very heavily on drone production. No Roach Warren, no Evolution Chamber, no Spy, no Baliness, now starting a layer. And it does seem that TargA was very protective of his lead, whereas Pig just straight ahead with drones.
Maybe took a bit of a gamble, in not getting too many units out. Like TargA literally has had 11 links out for quite some time. I guess Pig got a few of his own out there. And TargA, the only thing that he has going for him, I guess, is that he's a little bit ahead in terms of the the upgrades with the +1 and a little bit of creep spread. But is it really that relevant in ZvZ to have creep spread?
I think so, when you're playing this style, because one thing it does offer is it denies your opponent scouting, right? His overlords get pushed back further, and he has less reaction time because, compare the overlords. You've got one overlord from TargA on the bottom left-hand side, which shows the ramp of his opponent, compared to Pig, who only has his side of the map covered. So he wouldn't see an attack coming until pretty much last minute. I think that's a pretty big advantage.
One single link here from Pig denied that third base from going down for TargA for a moment. Are you surprised that TarGA's not going for Carapace, by the way? He has double Evolution Chamber up.
I think that's all. Zerg players usually use that as a wall in case there is an attack coming. It's a little bit too expensive to go double upgrades. You usually see the Carapace upgrade constructed when the third hatchery is done and you have a lot more income.
Okay.
You want a lot of roaches.
Finally, that macro game, man. 13 roaches for Pig right now, 4 for TargA, who finally caught back up in walker count. He's 5 walkers ahead.
But is a lot of roaches behind.
TargA is creep spreading furiously, man. For ZvZ.
Mobility.
The launch pad,
TarGA's
launch pad on the map.
All right, so entering the mid game now. Despite TargA taking a small lead very early on, Pig did catch back up just by the way that his build compared to TargA's. TargA did seem to play a little bit more safe. Pig just with a small advantage at this point, you could say. But the creep spread I do like from TargA.
Yeah, at this point it kind of feels like both players are content with their drone count and they only get roaches out.
Pig, very surprising, didn't start that. Oh no, wait, his +1 attack's just about to finish, sorry. Never mind.
+2, yeah, did start though for TargA already. And no launch pad here. It's comes down to pure skill and micro and positioning between these roaches.
Correct, and it looks like TargA is going to be chased back up his main ramp here. Pig in pursuit with his roaches. Gonna look for a position, but shouldn't really be available here. It's a Spine Crawler, Queens, a better defensive position here. That means TargA can hopefully spread easier and fight better, but we're gonna see a move in here. Spine Crawler is attacking in. Transfuse is available here.
Pig has some pretty good numbers, though. He was a little bit ahead on the roach counts.
Well, we'll see if it's going to carry him through. Of course, the reinforcements from TargA right there, right behind, and Pig is pushed away. TargA takes a couple of stragglers at the back.
Walker counts dead even here for both players, and
but one player droning, which is TargA, where the other's powering up with the roaches here.
because he just pushed him back. But I guess, yeah, Pig is going to start some drones of his own. All extractors are being taken slowly but surely from both players. Pig's about to go up to 5 extractors. TargA is still on 4. Yeah, he starts another one now. So
Very similar position for both of these currently.
ZvZ is funny, man. You pump out roaches to be able to fight, but then you try to squeeze in a few drones here and there, and then you build up your economy very slowly. It never feels like you should ever go into one or the other. You get a little bit of both, some drones and economy and some roaches.
Because if you don't, I feel that you just die because an attack would kill you off if a player dedicated to an attack. But here we see +1 carapace for TargA, whereas there is no carapace started for Pig, and also a Hydralisk Den coming in. So TargA looking to move his tech to another level, increasing his army strength, whereas Pig is just powering away pure roaches. +2 attack is going to complete for him, and then I think he may look for a pure roach attack here. And if he hits, if money from TargA is being spent on the Hydralisk and the investment into that later tech, Pig could, I mean, he's got a 20 supply lead because of the roaches that he's built.
Yeah, and Carapace, I guess he's going to finish before any kind of fight here, so that's going to help TargA, but he needs to max out here as soon as possible because Pig is on, he has a 10 roach lead. And usually, I've heard from Zergs themselves say that if there is a 1 or 2 roach lead, you win the fight by a landslide.
Well, it's surely 58 to 45 right now, and Pig's going to go straight up this round because he knows that he has the higher roach count. Straight into this, and TargA moving his roaches there. A lot of shots were missed, I think. And oh my gosh, Pig is absolutely dominating this fight. He's going right up and close. A lot of the reinforcements come out. Hydralisk come out. Are they there in the right time, though? As they go down pretty fast. But TargA is holding on, and he is going to push Pig back. And now, because Pig wasn't able to win with that fight, the Hydralisk advantage over to TargA, and he keeps his tech.
Yeah, all of a sudden, he has 7 more workers. He's catching up back on the army supply. He should be able to get ahead even, and having those Hydralisks behind he's going to help a lot. He also has the Carapace going for him. Carapace was never started here by Pig, who only now gets the Hydralisk Den.
Only just now, which, if we're looking at it, there's only 2 Hydralisks out for TargA as Pig digs, kind of target them down, keep them away, but more and more going to be added on. I think we did see from Pig the infestation pit being built, but no, I thought I saw it, but I think he's changed the Hydralisk, I'm not sure. But
TargA's map vision, by the way, is absolutely insane this game. He has overlords and creep spread everywhere. As our immaculate observer here, Funka, is pointing out. He sees everything, like he sees his entire half of the map, which is what he needs to see.
Well, TargA's in this position now. Where do you think that Pig needs to kind of draw this back up? I mean, TargA's got the Hydralisk count. He's got this new base coming in that's forward on the high ground, a Spine Crawler to protect it. He's also just, got the infestation pit and pathogen glands.
Yeah.
Pig is a couple of steps behind because he dedicated to all those roaches. So is it just a good fight he needs to take, or maybe run bys? Where?
I think he needs to play passive if he attacks, or maybe attack before there is infestors, but TargA is maxed out before, he has more economy, so right now, Pig, he's in a pretty bad spot. He needs to try and play a stale game, maybe gets to infestors, but again, TargA is going to beat him to that. He already has pathogen glands underway, he's going to start some spines, and TargA right now, it really looks like in ZvZ, in a longer game, he has quite a bit of experience, and he seems to be doing better than Pig. I mean, he hasn't won or anything just yet.
Yeah.
This Spore trick was just used at the natural here for TargA to reach 206 supply. Do you think that points out he might want to attack with this? Those extra units?
I think he will probably want to use his tech advantage to maybe build up the energy on these Hephaestus. But he does poke down there into the army of Pig and says, that's probably not a good idea. Let me just wait for my other units. And 2 Infestors, 2 Fungal Growths, with all the Hydralisk support that's around. And they're about to pop right into this fight if Pig goes up that ramp.
A nice roach run by on the gold base. He's going to try to bring TargA out of position. Pig is just waiting for an opportunity. Man, if he had an overseer there, he could have cleaned so much creep and denied vision.
Both of them looking for each other's high ground, and Pig's going to swing around. There are 2 fungals available. One landed on the Hydralisk, another one catches a small bit of that army. And we are going to have an engagement 10 seconds before the carapace, the defensive armor upgrade, is going to complete for Pig. So TargA goes into this with an advantage, and he will smash this one home. He gets right up and close to those Hydralisks on the right-hand side, and the majority of his stay alive. And TargA carries his tech advantage through, and he wins that battle very easily, and now has stretched his lead even further.
And in the meantime, though, Pig did go for the infestation pits. He not only went up to 6 gases earlier than TargA, which means he has more gas right now in the bank, he also rushed that 7 and 8 gas. So if he was to go into just pure roaches and infestors now, he should have enough. Well, I guess TargA's not gonna give him any time.
Yeah, TargA looks like he knows the position he's in, and he's wanting to finish this off as he marches south with his army. There are a couple of infestors on the way as well, but they won't be needed anytime soon. And Pig is going to have to need a very, very good fight here, using every defensive position he can on the high ground.
Why is TargA pulling back? He's on 142 army supply against 112. Surely, if he knew that's the case, he would be attacking now.
I think he may do. Maybe just wanting to clear up this little bit of harassment, wait for the couple of infestors that popped out, then go again. He is harassing at the same time here, managing to pick up 3 workers, 4.
He really needs to attack soon
as well.
He's giving an opportunity for Pig to just catch back up in supply and possibly come back in this game, I feel.
Well, there's a big difference when it comes to the amount of money they have in the bank too. As TargA now maxed out with over 1,000 minerals.
The spore trick on the natural here of TargA is going to happen again. Are you ready for the splash? Bam!
Todd,
Wow,
don't make those noises, man.
That was you.
What? Don't blame me.
Yes, it was.
And that allows TargA to squeeze out another 10 or so Hydralisks, I think that was.
156 army supply for TargA, 120 for Pig. Good luck.
All right, Pig.
He might be the one attacking too.
Time to bring the bacon, my friend. You've got to find a way to win this one. And there's 2 infestors for a couple of fungal growths. TargA sees that army as he has control of the Xel'Naga Tower, decides not to take that fight. Gonna look for a different angle. No, gonna swing back around again.
Both players started the hive, by the way. And he's going to a longer game, really?
TargA's got such an advantage here. He just needs to finish this off. He's gonna go straight through the middle here. And it is a better setup for Pig. He's got a lot of units dealing a lot of damage compared to TargA, who's got a lot of these Hydras and Roaches just kind of static at the back. And is this going to be... Look at the supply difference! That was a huge victory for Pig.
Yeah, TargA, he had a lot of the Hydralisks at the front here. Some roaches stuck behind the infestors as well. And he lost so much here.
One bad fight and flips the upside down. As Pig knows all about that. This game's just turned around.
And Pig has more, he has about 10 more drones. He has 9 more drones.
He had the +2 carapace there. He had the better position. TargA wanted to, go for that win. He's been in the lead for the majority of the time here. And then bang, just like that. Pig owned that fight. And TargA had to use all that money that he'd saved up just to get back to where he was before. And now it's going to be another chance here for Pig to crawl this one back. There is a big Hydralisk difference between the 2 of them. TargA having a lot more, 30-17.
This game alone is going to last longer than the entire previous ZvZ we saw.
You are not wrong there.
Pig's finally starting to work on the gold base on his side of the map.
Yeah, both players looking for a way to have a good fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that is ZvZ. I mean, this is pretty much any matchup at this stage of the game. You just want to get the best possible fight you can. So, goals for both players here. Number 1, don't do what TargA just did. Number 2, do what Pig just did.
Bit of a spore trick here once again. And with the Spire on the way here, Pig, do you feel like this could be a decisive move against the TargA who's never made one yet?
Well, the Spire, to get out Broodlords at this stage of the game is awesome because the fight's gone for a long time. Like the Hydra Roach fight's gone for a while. If you have a lot of damage coming from the skies above, it's a very decisive move here.
Yeah. Pig is getting burrow, by the way, and I really like that. In a game like this where you have this many roaches, you could win a fight and have a lot of them injured. At the end of the fight, you could just heal all of them. I'm pretty sure we're going to have an engagement here.
Deja vu. Is that how you say it?
Déjà vu.
Deja vu.
You butchered it once again.
What?
Okay, Sean.
It's perfect. All right. Deja vu on the right-hand side, and there's a grab from Pig. Does he want to fight into that position, though? Very narrow between the Zelnorga Tower and this bunch of tree stumps on the left-hand side. And no, is the answer. The Greater Spire is on its way for Pig. If Pig was to be able to fight as soon as the Broodlords are ready,
Yeah.
he would have a good window. The Spire is on its way for TargA, but he doesn't know about the Greater Spire coming in for Pig.
Yeah, his is much later, I think.
Oh,
maybe
TargA's
about
going for the
a
high ground on the gold. 4 roaches. Oh, 4 roaches pull Pig out of position. He loses that gold base just because of it. He was chasing around.
Yeah.
And
But
he
it's not
loses
the end
the
of the
high
world,
grounds.
though. Like, he's still on 4 bases against 4.
Yeah. But
Totally. Okay, even like losing, like, he's losing a few drones. He's already lost
Oh.
6. He can just replace those with army instead.
time to spread.
Oh, God.
Oh, a lot of the left-hand side here.
Oh, this
The
is looking
Hephaestus.
scary.
This is a pretty good setup here for TargA. Unfortunately, Pig trying to spread. I don't know how this is going to go. There's so many Hydralisks from TargA, but there's a lot not actually firing at the back. But that was a good fight from TargA. Pig pulled out of position right before the Greater Spire was on its way. 6 Broodlords are coming into play, but it may be just a little bit too late there. TargA hits this perfect window that he didn't really know about, all because Pig just out of position and gave his high ground away.
Pig needs to use his lava here. He's got quite a few lava. Okay, he's gone down to 10 now. He started a lot of units, but he needs to pump out some kind of army out ASAP to support this Broodlord so that he can
Yeah.
win the fight.
But how much money does TargA really have now? Because he's got his Spire. All he would need to do is to build some anti-air here.
Yeah. Even contaminating.
And the
contaminating
Broodlords are
third
so
base.
slow. I mean, TargA can play Ring Around the Rosie for quite a while here.
A ring around the rosy.
Yeah, Ring Around the Hatchery, I suppose that translates for you.
I got it, Sean.
Okay, I don't know if you didn't know because you're French. I tried.
TargA surely is going to want to attack now that he sees Broodlords.
Yeah, he's
or-
maxed out, so he definitely... I think he's given away those roaches on the left-hand side. Just kind of opened up some space for some anti-air in the
It's getting
corruptors.
corruptives, yeah.
Well, Pig's got this one chance. He's been hurt with his economy. He can't really rebuild that hatchery, so he's got one fight in him. And is that fight going to be the one that can go up 1-0? This is a much better performance from Pig, as we saw earlier. He's 0-2 very fast against Happy.
Yeah.
Will this work?
Pig never remade that hatchery on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Gonna fungal the Broodlords, but no. They don't get held in position anymore.
And here goes the fight. Corruptors are on the way, and there is underneath the Broodlords that will stop the Corruptors from slowly but surely bringing them down. So TargA's just got to be patient.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he loses the gold base here. As long as the Broodlords are out of the sky, he can take the fight he wants to do. And with the Hydras that he has, he would easily win this war. So
And Pig doesn't even have Hydralisks.
no, nothing to support here.
Disaster here.
So this is a good, patient play from TargA, and it looks like he will clean this up. Broodlords are out of the sky, and the Roach Hydra versus the Roach fight will commence, and it is going one way, and it is going to Norway. And this is going to be 1-0 for TargA as he moves on to map number 2. And TargA, after losing just a little while back against Kane, 2-1, goes up 1-0 here.
Really back and forth game up until the point TargA with just 5 roaches pulled Pig out of position and then just capitalized on that with that great engagement on the right-hand side. What do you think of the mix that he went for with so many Hydralisks? It seemed really strong here, but I guess, was it really only just because he had a great position? If he hadn't been given the opportunity to attack, and then Pig completes his Broodlords before the engagement, do you think it would have been a very different game?
I think so. I really do think so. And I think he knows too. Pig doesn't... He's not trying to... Have you seen Bad Boys, the film? Woosa.
I did.
Woosa. He's not doing that. He actually... he was describing before that his headset was a little bit uncomfortable. So I just thought I'd let you know he's not trying to calm down. All right, before we jump into
Great
map
fun fact,
number
Paul.
2... I am full of fun facts today. Before we jump into map number 2, we are going to take a very quick commercial break. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the elimination match here of the World Championship Series Premier League Group D. We have PiG against TargA in a best of 3 here, with TargA currently leading 1-0. And we're about to jump into map number 2. It's going to be Expedition Lost, one of the new maps that's made its way into the map pool for 2015. Let's see how this one is going to play out. Can Norway go up 2-0 and move on to the decider match, or can Australia fight back for PiG's first appearance in the Premier League? Let's jump right in. As down here to the bottom left-hand side, that very man from down under, it's PiG. And up here to the top right-hand side, the number 2 Norwegian StarCraft player. As the blue Zerg, it's TargA.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh girl. Another pull 9 Apollo here by PiG.
All right.
It's happening.
So it's the...
You got your corner.
It's the I'm not going to do it twice. Wink, wink. Hint, hint.
Exactly.
Yes, I know all about these.
And TargA, is he going to mix it? I feel like the right thing to do, or the thing that you will do most of the time here in TargA's shoes, is to go for hatch first and say he's not going to go for it twice.
Not on an elimination match, because this is PiG's elimination game. He loses this, he is going home.
PiG's going to do the exact same version as well. He did an extractor trick here, and yeah, he's just going to be links. Keep in mind, oh my god,
first.
He's going to start from behind as well. I mean, he did climb back up, you know, to a good economy in the previous game, but in the end, TargA was just too solid in the longer game.
And, I mean, if you don't really play too much StarCraft, once you finish a game, there is a graph screen, which you can look at the drone count very easily just by a click of a button, and you can compare each other's drone count. And just thinking back to that previous game, I am sure TargA looked at that and went, whoa, wait a minute, how did you jump 10 drones ahead of me so easily, you greedy guy? So,
but are you sure it shows in no build order in match history?
It does, doesn't it? I think it does. But then once you close it, you never see it again. I think so. But either way, we're going to have a look at this now as we go over, and TargA knows about this. So it's going to be exactly the same as before. This time PiG, though, has chosen an extractor follow-up instead of the hatchery follow-up. So there is going to be another attack planned shortly.
You think he's going to get the cancel this time? It looks better, like drones are nowhere close. Okay, he's going to pull them now. Pulls exactly 7 drones here, TargA.
Well, he defended it before.
But
it is the Queen has a little bit further of a distance to come down and help.
Yeah. PiG remade the gas, so this time he's going to go either into speed or banelings, and he hasn't started banelingless yet, so I think he's going to be speed.
Yeah, it's a more difficult map to defend, this one. The hatchery's actually kind of far away from the ramp's a little bit more wide open.
I guess TargA will need to get queens in his ramp to be able to defend comfortably against speedlings. Then
yeah, but even if he controls his own ramp to his main base, how do you control that ramp there, right where the lings are? You can't. Yeah. And we're going to see a lot of Zerglings in this game, and that hatchery is going to be under threat. It's already at 50%.
Speed starts now as PiG adds 3 more drones. He's still manning gas.
He's still got 50 gas, right.
I guess baning gas.
TargA sees that there is no hatchery. And when you see that there's no hatchery, you say, oh, you. And he's going to just want to defend. So multiple spines,
yeah,
not
he's
just
about to
one.
start a hatch, though, PiG. He sent a drone there. Behind, he's even hiding. What is it hiding from? What is it hiding from?
I guess hoping an overreaction. But either way, Zergling speed is on its way. Is PiG going to actually follow through with this? You have to if you dedicate to this.
Yeah. Still
He's droning. Maybe he is wanting that overreaction coming out from TargA, where he's not lava injected inside the main base, for example. He's wasting drones on spine crawlers. Maybe he builds a couple of safety zerglings. But by the looks of it, TargA cancelled the second spine as soon as he saw the hatchery finish up. And there come the lings from PiG. 6. Can this still work?
Yeah, metabolic boost is going to finish here, but PiG... Okay, he starts 10 more lanes here.
He's going to go for it.
Why is he mining that much more gas if he's not going to use it?
Well, if he slaps down a baneling nest any second, then it would work. But other than that, it's not... That's
surely he's going to, right? He waits until the last second to start the baneling nest, and then he will finish.
Here comes the flood, and let's find out how TargA's going to do this. So, if he loses the hatchery, PiG takes the advantage in the game. A second spine crawler starts. Queen's blocking the ramp. There's a lot of zerglings here for TargA 2 with that spine crawler. And he's going to use the queen, the lings to block the ramp with the queens to assist. And no, it's not enough.
Fourth queen is out now, and TargA with the second spine. I mean, it looks like he's just going to be fine. He's going to be safe. Well, there we go. The lair starts here for PiG. That's how he's going to use all that gas.
I don't even know what the lair is for.
Mutas,
do you?
Apollo.
This fast? With minimal gas?
It's like a cat's-ish build. Well, like you go to Mutas with not much economy, but I guess already having 4 queens, I don't think it will be that great. Like TargA would only have to make some spores here and there and would be in great position.
Yeah, this is a little wild.
Spotting anything is going to be tricky though for TargA. I mean, he never even started speeds. Slowlings shouldn't ever get across the map and get the scouts. Sacrificing an overlord will be denied very easily by a queen, so... How does he scout, really? Well,
I guess this is going to be for a spire. Nothing else really makes sense here. He's just going to have to cut a lot of corners, make no defense at all, and build pure drones. And
desperate times call for desperate measures, Apollo.
Yeah, hope for the best.
The spire starts as the second extractor is starting to be mined from here from PiG, who adds 2 more immediately, but... Okay, TargA hasn't seen anything, really.
No, and PiG is at maximum saturation now. He just skyrocketed to maximum saturation. No spines, no evos, no roach, no baneling. Any attack kills him. It was incredibly greedy, but he's playing off his aggressive image here, and he has gotten away with it. He has gotten away with it.
Yeah. What do you think about the timing the Mutas are going to come out? Like, is there a chance that as TargA you really get caught off guard here and you start losing drones left and right and then you're in a terrible position?
I don't think you lose drones left and right, but you lose a lot of overlords and he misses his opportunity and timing to deal damage before Mulus are in the game. And that allows PiG to take a third, he takes map control, he's able to push his economy higher.
Yeah. They have about the same worker count too, like PiG is just actually 45 to 45 right now, so...
Yeah. So PiG's gonna build 5 Mutalisks by the looks of it, and then a couple of spines to make sure he doesn't get hit by a bunch of roaches.
TargA is morphing an Overseer just right outside of PiG's natural. He's gonna fly that in, but
yeah, I think it's pretty common. You know, he should know what's going on now. He's like, why are you building the spines? Why do you have no units? Where's the roach one? Where's the Evo?
So this is gonna force spores, which means TargA is gonna have to use drones to make them, and then he starts losing overlords.
One thing that must go in TargA's favor is the map. There's a back entrance.
Yeah.
There's a forward entrance. It's gonna be difficult to cover both locations. And there's already a massive roach flood coming in. Roach speed and +1 attacker on the way.
You think he's gonna try to hit the timing before PiG can get his own roaches? Which, by the way, PiG had he was gonna make a roach run and an Evo chamber, and then by accident. Yeah, by accident, Is it by accident, you think, that he didn't make the roach run? Because he was going to make it for a second. I was looking at his natural base.
Then
Okay, no, here we go.
Yeah.
So it must have been an accident then.
Yeah.
And that delays his roach run even more now.
Well, let's see how this is going to work out then. Because it is spore crawlers going up everywhere. And to be honest, the goal of the Mulus player is to deal damage or get that third cancelled. And at the moment, nothing's happened.
It's hunting season for Overlords, Apollo.
Yup. 1 down. You need to get as many as you can get. 2 down. Okay. So the switch up from PiG's in. Never really want to stay on pure Mutalisks. They're just not very good the longer the game goes. A lot more anti-air comes into play. But he's going to extract as much as he can from this. And so far, 4 Overlords is pretty good. And he's going to start to catch up in... I mean, he's ahead in draws by 10. That's a pretty big lead.
Yeah, TargA is getting pathogen glands, though.
Yeah, but that's not so good, though.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not against pure roaches, no. Yeah, unless he gets lucky with a fungal growth.
He's not lucky in skill, man. Those basketball 3 points, you land them in the right place, they do the job for you.
When I play basketball, I get 5 points every time because I shoot from the halfway line. And it's my rules.
British basketball.
Yeah.
Or Apollo basketball.
Apollo basketball. All right, so look at the map. It's actually very good for Pig. He's got 30 supply, and I think he played very greedy, and it paid off. Summary over.
Simple as that.
Yep.
9 walkers ahead right now.
And at this point, the Mulis have done what they needed to do, right? So it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have killed a lot. I've had a lot of fun.
He's gonna get more drones as well now in the third base. Those Mutas, man, they're little devils. They just fly around and kill stuff.
And I think TargA realizes the position he's in, and he's going to try and hit, I would imagine. Oh, no, he's going to drone. So he's going to sit back and play defensive, but this is very good position for Pig. Very, very good.
I guess TargA has a decent gas bank, so he's gonna get a bunch of infestors, try to finally get rid of those Mutas, and then from there, just develop his economy, go into a longer game in which he did very well in the previous game. With infestors as well, too, in his composition, in the first place.
Oh, man, that must be one of the ways to go. Fungal growth into a queen stabbing you to death. That is one way to go.
It's a mean death.
That is one of the worst.
You sound like you've been there.
Oh, I can feel it. Just look at it. Look at it. It's horrible. All right. So moving on to this point, 165 supply here for TargA. And for Pig. He's going to fight in here. He's a little bit ahead in supply. Some good fungals and some infested Terrans coming out with Queen support. And he is trading off here rather well. Yeah, and there's a lot of reinforcements coming in. It looks like Pig's coming to seal the deal after a very nice game coming out from him here. Is he going to be able to win the game right here, though? That is the big question. He's winning the fight for now, but there are a lot of reinforcements on the way.
TargA's running out of units, but so is Pig, who's rallying across the map.
Yeah, look, he's picking off the infestors now as well, and the investment into the infestors just wasn't worth it in this game. What did they do, really? They offered a little bit of support in that fight. They didn't really do too much in terms of anti-air because the Mulis count wasn't that high, and that was a nice win there for Pig, who does have the economy advantage, remember, which means he's going to be able to easily replenish what TargA cannot.
Yeah, and with those 4 drones dying here for TargA just now, all of a sudden, it's 58 drones for Pig, 45 for TargA, and there is even more army for Pig as well. 88 army supply to 66, so...
And he lost all his queens for lava injects too, so he's down on lava.
Man, he will need quite a few infestors to hold on here and do well later on.
I feel like we need to get an Aussie chant going when Pig picks up his first game in Premier League. If he wins this map.
Well...
Maybe we should shout it from here. He might be able to hear us if he takes his headset off.
What would he do? Just for one night?
I hope he would say oi, oi, oi. Like, that's what he's meant to do. It's his national calling. When you go Aussie, 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 there's only one response to come from Pig. I think you should get the crowd, if he wins the entire game. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Pig's like, oi, oi, oi. I would love it. I think the whole place would go wild. All right.
He's about to seal the deal, man. 51 roaches to 28.
Yeah, and a nice 4 roach up here to the top left on that third base again.
Pig has played really well this game.
Yeah, he goes in for a fight here, and this should be the sealing deal here for the man down under as he goes in for one final attack. Queens are attacking units, but they're not necessarily very good. There is a spine curl in the mix too, but this should be Pig's game here. His first victory in Premier League as he takes a massive supply lead and trades off once again while killing drones in the background. The perfect scenario.
And at this point, what can TargA really do? He's struggling to squeeze as many units out as he can, but 33 roaches to 13.
Yeah, and look at that. Pig opened up the back rocks before he took that fight and then swung around into the main base. Going to pick some more drones off. He takes the higher ground advantage as well, which means that TargA has to filter through that ramp.
I got the high ground advantage, I won.
Yeah, that's it. It's the king of the hill. I got my flag on the top. And TargA in a bit of a pickle. 13, 14 drones gone down. And he goes up to defend his high ground, and now we are going to see a fight again. Trading off this army while killing off workers. There are roaches from Pig on the third as well, and GG is called. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi! Pig takes his first game in Premier League. Oh, I did it too soon. And TargA now drops the game there. I hope you all at home are opening your cans of Fosters and getting your Australian flags out.
A very good series so far.
Yeah.
Really back and forth, and in both games I feel like Pig started from behind and climbed back up into the game, but this time he never really let go of his advantage and just sealed the deal with those roaches behind the Mutas. The initial Mutas did so much. I can't believe how much they did, man. Killed like what?
They did a lot.
5 to 6 overlords, killed drones left and right, forced some fungal.
That is something which will definitely play into the next game, Heat. How often can you seriously get away with that type of greed? Like that was levels and levels above the greed that anyone should ever play on the professional scene. And TargA was sitting back defensive. He was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for this guy to attack me. And Pig did the opposite, and it worked out beautifully for him. And
but it was a very good read as well by Pig, knowing that TargA probably will not be on any extractor, would not have gas, and then from there, what is he really going to attack with?
Yeah.
No link speeds, slow links, wouldn't do much. So very, very good mind games here by Pig, who I guess got the better end of things in the end, even though he started from behind.
All right. Well, game number 3. He's getting all jiggly and warm in his seat now. Being able to pick up his first game here in Premier League. And let's just tap back into your pro gamer experience. Whether you want to jump back 15 years or 20 years, however long you've been doing this for.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're going there.
We are. What is it? You go 0-3 and then you finally get a game. What does that mean?
It's the beginning of the comeback, of course.
Oh, no. Emotionally, Todd, come on.
You get pretty pumped.
He's on his way back. He's making the comeback. That's what it means.
You get pretty pumped. That's what happens, Apollo.
You should.
Like, I'm winning this now.
I can do this. I believe in myself.
Kind of like if you were in the washroom and screaming to yourself, I'm winning. I'm gonna win. It's the same thing.
Slapping water in your face, slapping yourself. All right. Game number 3 for the elimination game. Loser goes home. That's simple. This map is everything. Down here to the bottom right-hand side, it is that man from Australia with a 9 pool again, apparently, the Red Zerg Pig.
Oh my God. He just doesn't like getting an overlord at 9.
Over here to the left-hand side from Norway, it is TargA. All right, 9 pull it is again.
TargA is not scouting in the proper direction. Oh, he is scouting in the right direction, by the way, but is this really... he's not going to see...
Is he going to go 15 pull again?
Is this the game he says?
He goes hatch first?
Not 3 times.
3 times. Then they play best of 5. He's like, no, 4 times.
No,
5 times?
No, he's going to go
spawn
pull
pull first. Okay. So really... we can comfortably say that both times that Pig has done this, he has not come out ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't think this time is going to be any different, Apollo. I don't think he's going to come out ahead. So this time, if he was to play it similarly and try to get the speed and then try to play greedy, surely TargA can make some of his own adjustments from the previous game. Maybe, I would say either go for an attack if he goes for the speed himself, or play very greedy himself. And he could definitely outgrid with the good opener here. His opponent.
Yeah, a couple of really lucky things coming out here from TargA. First of all, the decision to go for the spawning pool first, and then the Overlord spawning, right? The way that he sent his first Overlord south rather than north, and saw this very, very early on, so he's got a lot of time to prepare mentally.
Pig is not going for a gas, by the way, like in the previous game. He looks like he wants to do the same thing as he did in the first game and start a hatchery behind this on his natural, most likely in a moment.
Very similar as mentioned before, the goal is to cancel the hatch.
Gone up to 10 links here, Pig.
If there is a way that this can landslide, for example, if you both start to fight and then all of a sudden you lose 2 Zerglings, being TargA that is, then it can heavily go wrong. Oh no.
I mean, I think the choice of going for 10 links here by Pig was really good, by the way. I think last time he made 6?
This time, look at that. That's a good fight from Pig there.
He might get a cancel, and this time it's TargA behind this who's going for the gas much earlier, and I think he's going to go for speed. He might force TargA into an all-in behind.
Is he going to get this 1, 2 links go down, the third one goes down for TargA here?
Okay, no, I don't know.
But the Queen.
Yeah, I guess he's not going to get the cancel. The Queen is here, man.
Yeah, and TargA holds on to that natural. Pig dancing on the edge of the Queen's range.
13 drones to 13, so...
But hatchery complete and hatchery not complete.
We saw in the previous game that he did not particularly help TargA, but this time he's going to have so much initiative with having already his gas.
Yeah.
And being about to most likely start speed here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. This is where the mind games come into play, right? Because is Pig going to play greedy in some way again? And is TargA just going to blindly go for an attack now? And does Pig now think that he's going to go for a blind attack and prepare for this?
Also, Pig, he not only gets the hatch very late on his natural, he's also going to get the queens much later than his opponent. So how will he be able to crease spread to then wall off the big ramp at his natural in case there was a massive Ling attack coming his way?
Well, does he? Well, I guess we'll find out here, because you do need one creep tumor to actually get close to that ramp. You are correct there. But he can't commit to a creep tumor this early. He needs the lava.
Actually, there's a bit of money.
So
and he's waiting to... Is he waiting to spend it? Okay, no, here we go. Starting some drones.
Yeah, it has to be... looking at TargA, though, he's gone back into gas now. He's got Zergling speed on the way. A Balin nest has been thrown down.
Still mining gas as well.
He does not know what is behind, so this is not necessarily a defensive Balin nest. It could be an aggressive, could be defensive. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
It has been spotted.
Okay, Pig's gonna drop the creep tumor here, so this should be finished on time for him to wall off. Was he to get in trouble? And TargA actually is gonna push out that overload of Pig just right outside his natural. That's a big tail. There could be an attack headed his way here.
Well, an overload's about to pop. It should be drone. Surely
he's gonna kill the overload too.
He is, yeah. He's gonna get that overload pick. It is drones. That Balin nest is safety, but currently it is TargA. No, they're equal. They're actually equal in drones as these drones do pop out. 32-32. 3 queens apiece. Roach Warren and Evolution Chamber and a wannabe something there. As TargA did click on that drone, as you saw a little blue circle around. It's like, you silly man. But one does not have Zergling speed. Big difference.
What do you think about TargA going for an Evo Chamber in his main rather than for a wall? Is he going to go for the Carapace build again?
I think he's just hiding, like what's going on here. Because of the way that this series is played out, I just don't think he wants to reveal his cards too easy, because an Overlord on the natural could have seen, or a Ling that pokes up could have seen what's going on.
And he did push back very nicely this Overlord of Pig.
Yeah, and it looks like TargA's just lining everything up for Roach speed +1 attack and Roach production.
Do you think Pig is going to go... no chance he goes for Mutas, I mean, here, right?
No.
Already having the Roach Warren and starting missile +1, is there ever like a fake out where you can sell the +1 missile?
No, sadly not, unfortunately.
Maybe I should play Zerg. I'd be the one
Maybe
to
you could try that, yeah. Like your hallucinated Oracle into real Oracle.
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah, of course. I've got a great memory, actually. Long term, not short term. Definitely not short term. You should see me on Nights Out, man. What's your name? Oh, Sarah? 2 minutes later, what's your name again? All right.
You still got the charm, though, so I'm sure it works out.
Yeah, just sometimes. All right, so kind of similar at this point. Looks like Pig trying to go over to take this third now. Does have a slight supply advantage. He does have a couple of roaches out a little bit earlier on here, but TargA does have his own on the way. And cool to see.
Pig still ahead on the work account here. Is there ever anything extreme that can happen here where, like, for example, he realizes he's ahead on the workers, he only starts getting units from now and then goes for his own timing?
The most extreme thing that can happen now, I think, is if one player just doesn't drone and just pure builds units while the other does drone up and then gets hit by an attack. But both of them are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
An Overseer by Pig here, scouting, checking out, seeing what is going on. He sees unit production, so he keeps on unit production himself.
Okay, TargA has a Baning Nest, and Pig doesn't. Does that encourage TargA to go into a lot of roaches plus Banings? And you know, that's that infamous timing.
Yeah, you can do that, but you don't have enough money to do it right now to make it cost efficient enough, because it takes a lot of lava, a lot of money to build all the Lings up. And then
but I mean, even later on.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the natural transition he went for. It's much better against Roach Hydra, you know, and that's what has been very common throughout this series.
It's not very good against Infestors, though, as I've seen in the past.
That's correct. All right, so both players getting a bit eager now as Roach speed has completed for both.
TargA is 10 walkers behind, and he's only making units right now and quite a few overlords, so there is a chance.
But that's bad for TargA here, because if you look at the Roach count difference, it's not that different between the two of them, and Pig is in the defensive position, whereas hatcheries are all closer, and Queens to assist.
Yeah, Queens with quite a bit of energy. Oh, as we say that, they're going to get picked off.
Spinecrawler will help here, but losing those 2 Queens, not so good at all. But the Spinecrawler does a lot of DPS, it is gone. TargA's going to go for this, but there are 11 roaches on the way for Pig. All he's got to do is hold this, and he has that 10 worker difference, which means he has a lot more money incoming than TargA does, which means he can make more units. And TargA, realizing that goes over to his opponent's drone line, tries to pick off a couple, gets 2,
Yeah,
and then he goes back to droning himself.
Very, very good micro here by PiG, who pulled back some of those injured roaches. And by look of things, 50 drones to 50 drones here for a second. But behind his PiG is a little bit in a panic mode. He's only making units against the TargA, who droned out a little bit, and who's faking the attack. Yes, that could backfire.
Yeah,
that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Stole it.
I mean, as long as it comes out by one of us, it's okay.
Okay.
But does PiG go for an attack with his roaches now, expecting a TargA to drone?
He has so much less vision. PiG just scouted the saturation on the third base of TargA, and he did see that it's about the same as his, maybe a few more drones plus the extractor. So I think he realizes that in terms of workers, he's a little bit behind with the 50 against 56. So he's going to start moving across the map, or at least a little bit, but he's droning up behind it. So this is again a fake.
Yeah.
Man, these fakers.
It's all about the game of drones, the game of tug of war that you have in ZvZ. You move out, you move back, you move out, you move back, forcing drones, forcing units.
Do you like the second Evo here going up for TargA?
Not really. I think you can just wait till +2 attack finishes and just get the carapace.
Wanted to start out a bit earlier, I guess. And Infestation Pit is going to go down first for PiG here, who's... PiG always seems to rush for newer or more extractors quicker here.
I think I quite like the Infestation Pit, don't you think? If you think back to what you described about the Baneling Nest.
Yeah.
Like how that would be a pretty easy, smooth way for TargA to move into. And if PiG was to be able to catch that, that would be very nice.
Does TargA going into the second Evo even encourage that area more of that he's going to go for Banelings rather than Hydralisks?
Yeah, it can do.
We'll find out in a second, I guess, if he starts making links.
All right, so equal economy, very similar worker difference, but it is one player who's dedicated quite a bit of resources to infestors or in the Infestation Pit and pathogen glands compared to one guy who's just pumping out roaches currently.
Why does PiG always get neutralized carapace? Is it a mistake or is it necessary in the matchup?
It's just, I think it's preference, to be honest. Like, some people like to spread their overlords a lot easier, some don't. Some don't like them getting picked off by queens.
Like the Overseers being fast is not that relevant here, right?
It can be. Like I said, it's not a very expensive upgrade, so... Alright, this is an interesting moment, because this is a defensive position. This is good for PiG to be in this defensive position, but two infestors are about to pop out, or very close to popping out. Will they join the fight in time? As we do see this commence.
TargA's getting kind of crushed here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a better position from PiG naturally. He's close to his hatcheries. TargA's losing quite a bit here. There's no other flanks going on, so it is as direct and as straightforward as you see it, and he loses and backs off. And now all those roaches that we saw committed to, there's infestors in play. And there's 3 of them, I think, which clearly, after winning a couple of fights in a row for PiG and now having a tech advantage, he's in a good position.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit more supply, but I guess +1 carapace is going to finish here in a few seconds. Does that really help?
I don't think so. Not when you're behind by 10, 15 roaches and there's a couple of infestors on their way. So we have the Overseer for PiG that sees the army. He knows this is his chance to possibly pick up the win here and eliminate TargA in last place. Here comes one Overgrowth, and PiG is going to go for it. A couple more infestors come in, and the roaches just spray everything that they've got. And is he going to be able to pass through? He's got 40 supply difference, more roaches coming in. And is PiG going to be able to eliminate TargA, a possible favorite for this group, and push him out in last place and take a chance at the decider match for himself? And it is looking likely that he will do, as he maintains that 30-40 supply advantage. And with the numbers starting to drop for TargA, it is only going to avalanche from here. And we, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are going to have an Australian representative carry on in today's group. And he's going to eliminate TargA. That's it. He's been broken. That's the last set of roaches that he has. A couple more come out, but GG is called. And PiG stays alive in today's group in the World Championship Series Group D. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Not the reaction you'd hope.
Maybe you can't hear me. Maybe we're too far away. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. He just wanted to keep it in. I had to do it, mate. I love that Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. But there we go.
Very good games here by PiG against TargA, who's renowned for his great ZvZ. Those were not your typical, very cheesy, quick games.
Yeah.
They were indeed a little bit cheesy with the triple 9 pull. But in the end, he went the distance and just very good, I guess, fights, control, concaves, and roach count.
Yeah, so it was a cool series, that was really cool to watch from game 1 to game 3. Lots of 9 pools. A lot of 9 pools.
Is this the new go-to build in ZvZ?
No, I'm not going 9 pool, I'm going 9 pool. I'm not going 9 pool, I'm going 9 pool. Over and over until you get that success that you want.
If he has to play in ZvZ again, would he go 9 pool again?
Yes. No, probably not. I think it'd be a little bit too far if he went for another one in a row there. But it is PiG who keeps alive in this tournament after a bit of a shaky start, to say the least, against Happy a little bit early on with that 0-2. But he eliminates TargA here and moves on to the decider match. But that leaves us with the winner match that will be coming up in a little bit here, which is going to be Happy versus Kane. That's going to be an interesting series for sure. And then later on, the loser of that will play against PiG to see who can sneak through in second place in the World Championship Series. A lot of fun been had during this series. It was a pretty awesome series to cast. I'm quite interested to see what PiG has to say with Red Eye in a couple of moments. I'm sure he's over the moon with that victory. Thinking about it, losing the first game of that series to come back to win 2-1 as well.
Was on the verge of elimination. It wasn't looking that good in the second game for a moment, up until he made drones.
Right.
Drones
And then took a couple of risks. Definitely took a couple of risks to be able to get that victory.
I have to say, I was pretty impressed with his Muta control. Like, I know how these Zergs play with Mutas against Protoss, but in ZvZ, like, I wasn't sure what to expect, and then he sniped so much.
He did. That was a big turnaround, I think. That higher performance in game number 2 boosted him into game number 3, where we saw a pretty good game from him there.
It was your Aussie that boosted him.
It did boost him, didn't it? He loved it. All right, so thank you for enjoying this cast. Well, I hope you at least enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Over to Red Eye, who is with PiG.
Thank you very much, Todd and Apollo there in the commentary. Well done, Joe. Fantastic match to watch for us and for the guys at home as well. Let's just talk through the match as it came through. I want to go all the way back to the very first game because it didn't really work out, did it?
Not quite.
No. What was the plan?
Thought it was going pretty well towards the end there, actually, and then he killed me. Yeah. Looking at the openings in that game, I'm trying to remember because I'm a little bit hyped up and excited right now.
I could tell.
I think that was the game where I did pretty greedy follow up to my 9 pool. I felt like the map was pretty decent for 9 pool, even if he goes pool first, and I think I got enough damage done that it was relatively even going into the mid game. But I was still a bit nervous, a bit kind of tilted from game 1. I got over aggressive a few times. I kept kind of committing to economy, but I'd scout his army was smaller than mine, so I'd kind of really commit, and about 20 more roaches would pop out for him just before I hit, and I'd kind of get rolled. So it was a little bit tilting, but I think I almost made it to Broodlords there, and I think if I kind of held on and didn't let him get a good position, and would have had a shot in that game.
And then the second game, it kind of did work out. Almost exactly that way that you said. Broodlords coming out, exactly the right time. Everything kind of went to plan, or did it for you? And did it go according to plan, or were you adapting as you went through that?
I think it's a position which a lot of players would feel uncomfortable in, feel like I was behind, but looking at how much defense I made him put down in game 2, there was 3 spine crawlers, so I felt like I could be incredibly greedy. Took a couple of risks there.
I was gonna mention the greed because the greed was real.
Hey, they got 3 spine crawlers and 5 queens. Like, they're not going to attack you anytime soon. I was a little bit worried about a Roach Bane coming across the map, so I did throw down a few spines there, but I kind of skipped on everything else. And with how late his third was, and especially there was that kind of flukish moment where his Zerglings were hunting after my Zerglings, and my Zerglings kind of just ran in and were like, oh, there's no units watching your third base. And that cancel was absolutely crucial, because the timing of my mutas then meant there was no way he could get his anti-air up. And from there, it was relatively simple to kind of overwhelm him with the superior economy.
Just a matter of control and making sure he'd made no mistakes after that.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good drone lead on him the whole time. And on that map, it's very good to pick your opponent apart if you've already got a unit lead. So it was... He defended really, really well. So I was actually surprised because I thought I was even further ahead. But in the end, it could close it out, yeah.
I mean, it's a difficult thing to come all the way over from Australia as you have. I know you've been to Europe before, and we enjoyed having you here last year. But on the stage, in the Premier League for the first time, you faced a tough opponent first map, and you go down... I have to say, to be really honest, I don't think you played anywhere near the way we know you can play in that first match.
I got smashed pretty hard. That was pretty one-sided, yeah.
So how do you come back from that and play a guy you haven't beaten for 3 years?
I actually haven't in a tournament, have I?
No,
Wow.
not for 3 years. I mean,
Yeah.
did you even, were you thinking that? I mean, you don't think about that stuff,
I know
surely.
TargA's a ZvZ expert, and he does really well. There was a point last year where I was doing really well in online cups. I was beating a lot of like really top-level Korean players, and then like I'd beat them in the semis, and TargA would just own me in the finals. So he's a player I really respect, and I know that he's very frightening to play against. That's why I kind of did this very special sort of play, 999 pool, all with different follow-ups. I felt like I actually thought he would go hatch first one game because he would, you think. It's Pig. Pig's the defensive player. He's probably not going to 9 pool 2 games in a row, let alone 3. But as it was, I'm pretty happy that I don't think he'd seen my follow-ups before. I think, on the European ladder, you don't have as many 9 pools. So I think he wasn't really prepared. And I think he was very surprised probably by some of the transitions. It's a very kind of sneaky way of playing from me. So I'm happy that it kind of worked out.
TLO made a mention on Twitter that he's fed up with people saying that ZvZ's random. Because it's not. It is down to skill as well. But
Absolutely.
I understand what Kane was saying earlier about it. It can be a bit coin flippy too, because it does depend on the build sometimes.
Definitely.
Is that fair on both players? Do you see both points of view?
Definitely, but I think there's enough room for skill to always dictate what you can do, and I think there's always a bit of chance in all of StarCraft. It's a game of limited information, so I think going 9 pool versus 15 pool 3 games in a row and it kind of working, it shows that.
I mean, that's skill in itself, isn't it? In a way, it's a bit of balls as well, but
there's
skill.
risk taking, there's gambling, but there's also, if you're limiting their vision and you're keeping them in their corner of the map, it opens up opportunities to be greedy. It opens up your chances to take advantage of these things. But I think it's a lot of people haven't really explored Zerg vs Zerg as much, and I think when you practice on the Korean server, it really helps you out because you get players that are just, doing all sorts of aggression. And aggression is what Zerg vs Zerg is about. It's so fast-paced. And a lot of players, I think, treat it a bit too much like you're playing a Terran or a Protoss, and it's a more defensive, slower-paced matchup. And to be honest, I think the only player I've seen do that really, really well is Snoot. And he makes that work, but it doesn't work for many other players. Definitely not for me.
No, absolutely. Well, congratulations on a fine victory against your fellow kind of Australian, I think. He's sort of a bro.
He's an honorary Australian.
Honorary Australian,
Yeah.
indeed. It's
He knocked
very
me out
sad.
of like the first LAN I ever flew myself to.
Did he really?
So.
Okay, maybe not too much of a friend then, maybe not. Happy or Kane next? Do you want the revenge match or would you like another ZvZ? Got to be the ZvZ, surely.
Ego definitely says I'd like to, show I can face Happy and take him down, but ZvZ is definitely my more confident matchup, so playing the odds, I definitely try and play Kane. Yeah, so fingers crossed Happy does well.
Okay, thank you very much. Pig winning for Exile 5 and for Australia here in the World Championship Series for his first ever win in the Premier League. Congratulations to him. He'll be back in the losers game at the end of the day for a place in the round of 16. Next up, though, it's another battle, this time in the upper bracket between our two winners of their first matches. Who is the first man going through to the round of 16? We'll find out after the break.